On the way home we stopped at the drugstore to get my prescription filled. I decided I would rather just stay in the car because walking made the insides of my legs itch. While I was sitting waiting on my mom, one of those cool new Toyota RAV4s pulled up next to our car. It had slightly tinted windows and was painted in a beautiful pearl white finish. I was checking out the fine car when I realized I had seen the man before that was getting out of the car, but I couldn't place where I'd seen him. I was sure that I knew him from somewhere. I watched as he walked in front of our car and then into the store. It was bugging me that I couldn't figure out where I knew that large man from. Then I heard someone call my name. I turned to look and there was Sean with his head sticking out the driver's window of the RAV4. I couldn't believe it was Sean from Radio Shack, and I honestly never thought I would see him again. He was obviously older, but he still looked the same as he did before. I rolled down the window and said, "Hey Sean. Wow, I can't believe we have run into each other again. Yeah, my dad had to get me some." He paused only for half a second. "Stuff." I smiled knowingly at him and we were able to talk for a few minutes. I asked him if he ever got that faster radio-controlled car. It was no surprise that he hadn't. I told him about my poison ivy or oak or whatever it is I have and how I got it. He said that they just bought a house not too far from the store. I told him that we lived pretty close too. Just before my mom came out, we agreed to meet at the park this coming weekend after my rash was cleared up. Mom started up the car and pulled out of the parking space. Sean and I gave each other one last wave and a smile as Mom pulled away. However, just as we were pulling out of the parking lot, I happened to look over and saw Sean's dad walking out of the store with a shopping bag in his left hand and a package of good nights in his other. Their car was parked just out of my view, so I know that Sean didn't see me looking at his dad. I can't wait until this weekend to meet Sean at the park. So I am sitting here at my desk in my room, writing all of this down and wanting so badly to be able to scratch, but I can't because it makes me itch more. I know when this rash is gone, I'm going to be very busy hanging out with Mark and Sean, my two diaper-wearing friends. Nearly a year had passed since I recorded my previous close encounters with older boys who wear and use diapers. Quite a lot has happened since the day that Sean and I unexpectedly met in the parking lot of the drugstore a few blocks from my house. So much has happened over the past year that I thought it was about time that I started recording what's been going on since that day. I should begin with the few days leading up to the weekend that Sean and I had planned to meet at the park near both of our houses. I had been at home, lying around, watching TV and playing video games while I waited for my rash to clear up. My new best friend Mark had come over to our house every day to keep me company and to help take my mind off the constant itching. When Friday finally rolled around, Mom suggested that I ask Mark to spend the night. It took a little sweet talking to get his parents to agree because Mark's parents thought that he'd been spending too much time at our house as it was. Once I told them that it was my mom's idea, they gave us the green light. We decided to have a movie night where we would watch 2 or 3 movies back to back. We have done this before and to be fair, we both pick at least one of the movies. But since I had been feeling so crummy all week, Mark let me choose all the movies this time. Mark tried to hide it, but I knew he was thrilled when I chose all 3 of the Indiana Jones movies. Mom tossed a couple bags of popcorn into the microwave while Mark queued up the first movie and I unrolled our sleeping bags on the living room floor. By the middle of the second film, everyone else had given up and gone to bed, leaving Mark and I alone. Mark took a look around the room, saw that everyone was gone and exclaimed, "It's about time." "For what?" I asked, but he didn't reply. He unzipped his sleeping bag, pulled off his shirt and pants to reveal that he wasn't wearing a goodnight as he'd done for so long now. Instead of his usual goodnight, he was wearing a real, honest-to-goodness disposable diaper. It was white, with white tapes, and it looked to be slightly too big for his scrawny physique. "What the heck is that?" The words were out of my mouth before I knew it. "What's what?" He was playing dumb, except his goofy grin gave him away. "Don't even play dumb with me. What the bleep is that?" I was pointing right at the diaper and I really said bleep. It was something I had picked up from him, and when I saw that it irked my parents, it stuck. He stretched himself out on top of his sleeping bag, causing his diaper to crinkle, and he smirked. "I've gotten too big for good nights. They leak too much now." "How long have you been wearing those?" I asked. "What?" he teased. I grunted with frustration and shook a fist at him. if you start that again, the headline in tomorrow's paper is going to read, "Teen boy found dead wearing diaper." Mark chuckled. "I can't believe you haven't noticed before now. I've been wearing these for over a week now." My jaw fell on the floor as I said, "How long?" and it came out so high-pitched that I sounded like Mickey Mouse after being kicked in the balls several times. "It has been driving me nuts not to tell you," Mark confessed. "You're lying." I was still dumbfounded. 2 weeks? I slapped myself for being so blind. "Are you for real? Remember that day you came over to see the new poster I had on my wall?" Mark asked. "Yeah, I still agree with your mom, it's gross," I said. "Whatever man," he said, brushing away my comment. "Anyway, I was sure you saw the package in the bottom of my closet." His evil grin spread wider across his face. "I purposefully left the closet door about half open, because I knew it would turn you on when you saw it." "What?" My voice cracked when I said it. Mark took his pillow by the corner, swung it through the air and swatted me over the head. I didn't even try to block the pillow. I was too shocked, too amazed, and frankly, too turned on to care. "Shut up and watch the rest of the movie," he snickered. I tried to do just that, but I couldn't stop looking at Mark, lying on his purple sleeping bag wearing nothing but a big white diaper and his dingy white tube socks.